A big happy new year and graceful new year to my friends around the world. I am doing my first live Facebook today because there is something that I want to invite you all to, which is the only 30-hour yoga and psyche immersion that I'll be doing this year. And it's specifically focused on where somatic experiencing meets yoga. The training will take place in April in Marin County in California, but also can be taken from anywhere in the world through video. So here I'm going to tell you more about the training, what's going to happen, who are the people who show up, what you can expect, and where to find more information. A little history. When I began to take Peter Levine's somatic experiencing training over a decade ago, I was already a clinician and I was already a yoga teacher. And I came to learn really how trauma and emotional intensity is processed through the body. When I started to take the training, it jumped out at me how compatible what I was learning was with what was then over 15 years of study in tantric yoga and asana. So I began to explore this intersection, and since 2006 I've been teaching yoga and psyche trainings throughout the world, many places in the States. I started at the California Institute of Integral Studies, Esalen, Omega, in my travels, and in 2014 convened the first international conference on yoga and psyche, bringing together yoga and psychology practitioners from throughout the world. We had over a dozen countries represented at the conference, 150 people, and thus began to open this conversation that's no longer east and west, but it's north, south, east, and west. What happens when we bring this ancient tradition of yoga together with the modern advances of neuroscience, somatics, and trauma research to add on to what we've already learned about psychology, and what happens when we blend these two traditions together. In 2016, I met with Peter Levine, who's the founder of the Somatic Experiencing Method. We discoursed at length, taught a seminar in San Francisco, and from this was born a new collaboration with Peter Levine's Somatic Experiencing Institute, who are hosting this event, and myself. And I'm super excited to connect these traditions formally and be supported by the organization throughout the world. So, overview of the training. The training in this yoga and psyche training, for those who have taken some of my other ones, is going to specifically hone in on several key practices and teachings of somatic experiencing and how they intercept with yoga, including not just the asana, but the philosophy, pranayama or breathing, meditative practices, visualization, and particularly tantric philosophy, which is so compatible with the somatic experiencing method. We're going to explore how this intersection is applicable in the therapy room, whether you do individual or group therapy or are a social worker, mental health in the mental health field. Also, how this integration applies in the yoga room, whether you're a teacher or a practitioner of yoga, or a teacher who wants to be able to practice in your own practice in other classes, even when the yoga teacher isn't somatically and psychologically informed. And really, this practice is for everyone who's interested in how these subjects come together. Who can come to the training? Who's likely to show up? Who tends to come to these trainings are people who are dedicated to their self-exploration in some psychological form or inquiry, people who love yoga, people who are wanting to know what it really means to get into their own bodies and how to psychologize their yoga practice and sort of yogatize their own therapeutic work, whether as a clinician or just as a human being who's working it out. Many people who come to my trainings are psychologists, mental health workers, physicians who are wanting to bring yoga somehow to bear into their practices, physical therapists, body workers, and many others who come are yoga teachers or practitioners who, without going to years of graduate school, want to learn really what somatics is and how can they apply it in the yoga room and how can they create psychological space for their students. But really, everybody's welcome to come. I strive to offer an all-level training. So whether you're a new practitioner or many years into it, I hope that the training will offer you something substantial. Where's the training? The training's in Marin County in our beautiful Northern California in April, and it also can be taken from anywhere in the world. Some people have asked, what is it like to take a training at a distance? And I want to say to people who cannot make it locally that I profoundly value and consider people who are taking the training non-locally, whether from other parts of the United States or other parts of the world. And the training is filmed with 2 cameras. The videos will be available within days of the training. There's 2 3-hour live webinars, one before and one after, where we can meet. You can address what you hope to happen in the training, what you're looking for, bring your questions. And the last time I did this training in this format, we had people from over a dozen countries in the world. We had people from Ghana, we had people from Israel, from Brazil, from the Philippines, from Bali. And I can't say enough about how important it is for me to really make this a global dialogue and pass forth the best of what we're each learning so that we can each integrate and mix with our own cultural contexts and carry this integration forward. So everyone is welcome. If you do live in a country that has a different economy than the United States, you are welcome to contact the Somatic Experiencing Institute for an international rate equivalent. We really want to make it available to as many people as want to take the training. And everyone who comes will receive a 30-hour certificate of completion. If you are a certified somatic experiencing practitioner, you will receive 30 hours of credit towards your post-advance certificate. And if you're a therapist or a mental health worker who can attend the training in person, you'll get 24 Cs. Please feel free to write to me or Somatic Experiencing Institute for any more information. All the information is available on my website, lots of videos, everything you need to see if you're interested. Would love to see so many of you who I don't know in the future. Have a great day and a great year.